Are you over 60 and wondering how to live a long, healthy, and fulfilling life? The truth is, it's not just about drinking water and exercising more. These habits alone might not even be enough. This video is packed with wisdom and practical tips on how to take care of your health, maintain mental and emotional well-being, and embrace your golden years with joy. You'll discover why simple lifestyle changes, like getting quality sleep, cultivating a positive mindset, and nurturing your relationships, can help you live longer and better. Stick with us until the end because we'll also share vital longevity principles that many older adults overlook. From keeping your bones strong to understanding the importance of a balanced diet, we'll guide you through what matters for your health as you age. Plus, you'll hear inspiring stories of people who found happiness and contentment after 60, showing you that it's never too late to live your best life. Don't miss out on these life-changing insights. Watch till the end to learn how to embrace the wisdom of your years and make the most out of every moment. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. On the other hand, it's essential to recognize that drinking too much water, while seemingly harmless, can be quite detrimental to our health, particularly to our kidneys. Excessive water intake can lead to the body retaining too much fluid, which can overwhelm the kidneys and lead to dangerous conditions. It can also dilute vital electrolytes like sodium and potassium in the blood, causing severe complications such as hyponatremia and hypokalemia. These conditions are far from trivial and can result in serious health issues, including confusion, muscle weakness, and even life-threatening situations. Similarly, overexertion through excessive exercise, especially as we grow older, can result in joint pain, strains, and a higher risk of injury. It's easy to think that more exercise is always better, but for older adults, pushing too hard can backfire. I believe it's important to recognize that health care is a delicate balance, and simply drinking water or exercising is not enough. After experiencing illness, older individuals often have a deep understanding of the need for a more comprehensive approach to health that encompasses more than just physical habits. It's about adopting principles that truly nourish both the body and the soul. First and foremost, maintaining good quality sleep becomes increasingly vital as we age. The importance of sleep cannot be overstated. It's the time when our bodies restore themselves and rejuvenate. As we grow older, our bodies require more time to replenish energy and repair cells. This is why avoiding activities that can put a strain on your body is crucial, and sleep should always be your top priority. Getting a full 8 hours of sleep each night isn't just a luxury. It's a necessity for preserving your health. I believe it's the cornerstone of living well and aging gracefully. It's equally important to establish a regular sleep routine, ensuring you go to bed and wake up at consistent times each day. I can't stress enough how detrimental staying up late can be. It disrupts our natural rhythm, leading to hormonal imbalances and weakened immunity. Over time, this can seriously harm both our physical and mental well-being. I've seen how staying up late can rob you of your vitality and energy. It's as though your body never truly recovers, and that's a huge detriment to your longevity. In ancient traditions, a day was divided into 12 periods, with the hour of the pig falling from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. and the hour of the rat from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. The hour of the pig symbolizes a time to let go of the day's stresses, rest, and allow the body to sleep peacefully. We should honor this tradition and make sure we set aside our work to rest our bodies, letting ourselves drift off to sleep without unnecessary distractions. Another essential principle is cultivating a good temper and a positive attitude, especially as we age. Life, with all its challenges and obstacles, can sometimes feel overwhelming, but it's so important to approach these difficulties with a sense of calm and optimism. Having been through so many ups and downs in life, older individuals are in a unique position to appreciate the value of maintaining a good temperament. I've seen firsthand how adopting a positive outlook can make a profound difference in how we cope with life's challenges. When faced with a problem, it's easy to become overwhelmed, but if we approach it with a relaxed, positive perspective, we're more likely to find a solution. There's no point in dwelling on negativity. It only drags us down, both mentally and physically. It's essential to remind ourselves that every day is a fresh start, regardless of the emotions we're experiencing. I've learned that nurturing a good mood, even in tough times, is not just about being happy, it's about protecting our health. Constant negativity can be toxic, slowly eroding our spirit and our health. Over time, it can even manifest as a physical illness. I firmly believe that cultivating a positive attitude is one of the most powerful tools for aging well. With the right mindset, we can face life's challenges with strength and resilience. After all, no matter what happens, we only have one day to live. Why not make it a good one? Taking care of your digestive health is incredibly important, especially as you grow older. As we age, maintaining a healthy digestive system becomes even more desirable because it is the key to absorbing essential nutrients, supporting our overall health, and ultimately, ensuring a longer and more vibrant life. I truly believe that nurturing our digestive health is an act of self-love and respect for our bodies, as it directly influences how we feel and how well we age. So, how can we take better care of our digestive system? It starts with being mindful of what we consume. For one, portion control is vital. In today's world, it's so easy to indulge in large portions, but eating in moderation is a sign of self-discipline and care for our bodies. It's also important to limit fast food, as tempting as it may be. Fast food can be loaded with unhealthy fats, sugars, and salt that only harm in the long run. I feel that our bodies deserve fresh, whole foods that nourish us, not the overly processed, nutrient-devoid options that often tempt us when we're in a rush. Avoiding oily, sugary, and salty foods is crucial because they can cause inflammation and digestive discomfort. I also think it's a great idea to steer clear of packaged foods, organ meats, and moldy or spoiled foods that can wreak havoc on your system. Instead, opt for a balanced, varied diet that's full of fresh vegetables and lean proteins like chicken, fish, and eggs. These wholesome foods are rich in nutrients that support your gut and overall health. It's also essential to keep an eye on your weight, aiming to keep it balanced and healthy. I know that's not always easy, especially with the pressures of daily life, but taking small steps each day towards better health can be life-changing. I always try to remind myself that eating around 80% full is far better than overeating, which can overwhelm the digestive system. By eating this way, you're giving your body the chance to digest properly and thrive. For older adults, I'd recommend avoiding spicy, highly stimulating, or very cold foods, as they can be too harsh on the digestive system and cause discomfort. When it comes to bone health, it's no secret that our bones and joints become more fragile as we age. I've seen people around me struggle with osteoporosis, and it's such a heartbreaking condition. As we age, the sturdy limbs and strong joints we once took for granted become more vulnerable, and it doesn't take much, a small bump or a sudden sneeze, to cause fractures or lasting pain. To protect ourselves from this, it's critical to maintain calcium levels in the body. While calcium supplements can be helpful, don't forget about the importance of natural sources of vitamin D. I feel that getting sunlight is one of the most natural and beneficial ways to boost vitamin D, which in turn helps our bodies absorb calcium more effectively. So, go outside, soak up the sun, and let nature help strengthen your bones. Equally important is nurturing our knowledge as we age, particularly when it comes to our health. I believe that as we grow older, it's not enough to rely solely on doctors and medical professionals. We need to take an active role in our well-being. Understanding medical knowledge doesn't mean you need to be an expert, but knowing the basics about what's good for your body and what's not can empower you to make better choices. I think investing in your health is one of the wisest decisions you can make. That means making sure you get regular health checkups, screenings for high-risk diseases, and acting promptly when something feels off. This isn't about being paranoid. It's about being proactive. The sooner you catch potential health issues, the better the chances are for effective intervention. This not only helps prevent minor issues from becoming major problems, but ultimately extends your life, allowing you to live it fully. A particularly inspiring story I came across really resonated with me, especially when thinking about retirement and how we live our later years. There was a woman who, after her husband passed away, was initially brought to live with her children because they were concerned about her being lonely. At first, she loved having them around. Her children and grandchildren filled her home with joy. But as time went on, things began to change. Generational differences led to conflict, and eventually, after a major argument with her son, she decided to move back to her own home. This is when she realized that her constant involvement in her children's lives had been too much. As much as she loved them, it was important to let them live their lives and make their own decisions. I found this so touching because it shows the importance of boundaries, even with family. After some time and reflection, when her son invited her to return, she declined, choosing instead to focus on her own life and happiness in retirement. Now, in her nearly 70s, she has found peace in letting go and focusing on what makes her content. She decided to step back from getting involved in her children's family matters, and instead, she chose to pursue her happiness. This struck a chord with me because it's a reminder that our lives don't have to revolve around the people we love. It's okay to find our path, even as we grow older. I recently watched a street interview where a woman her age shared her wisdom. When asked whether parents should care more about their children after they marry, she responded so thoughtfully, "I still care about my children, but don't interfere too much. As long as they are living well, that's enough. If a mother-in-law controls too much, I wouldn't be happy either." When children marry, parents caring less is also a way for them to become more independent and mature. Her words left me thinking about the importance of balance and respect in relationships, and how letting go of control can lead to a healthier, more fulfilling life for everyone involved. It's all about taking care of ourselves and finding peace in letting life unfold naturally, trusting that everyone can thrive on their terms. Many parents hold a deeply rooted belief that their children, no matter how much time passes or how old they get, will always be their little ones. To them, the bond between parent and child remains eternal. No matter how much their children grow, the parents will always see them as needing care, love, and guidance. This is such a deeply emotional perspective, rooted in a desire to protect and nurture. However, over time, I have come to realize that while love and concern for our children are vital, there must be a balance. From my own experiences, I firmly believe that it is crucial to establish clear boundaries between parents and their grown children. These boundaries are not about severing ties or reducing love. Rather, they are about recognizing that children, even when they are grown adults, deserve space to grow, make their own decisions, and take responsibility for their own lives. Looking back, I can say that it was one of the best decisions I made to step away and live independently. After I decided to live on my own, I was astonished by the sense of relief that washed over me. For years, I had carried the constant weight of worry. Worry about my children's lives, about family conflicts, about things that simply did not please me or go as I wished. Living separately from them, I no longer had to concern myself with these things, and a great weight was lifted from my shoulders. There were no more arguments with my children, no more feeling upset and drained from emotional struggles. I found that, without the constant tension, I felt lighter, freer, and more at peace. Not only did I feel this newfound sense of freedom, but I also found that I had more time to focus on my interests. For so many years, I had put my children's needs, my grandchildren's needs, and the demands of daily life ahead of my own. Now, I could finally focus on the things that brought me joy: reading, gardening, and even simply sitting in the sun and savoring the quiet. These small moments, which once seemed trivial, became precious to me. Over time, I began to notice how much more positive I felt about life. I had rediscovered a sense of purpose and passion that had been buried under the weight of obligations for far too long. I no longer felt like I was always on the edge of exhaustion. I could finally relax, reflect, and enjoy the peace I had long been craving. In time, I made the difficult decision to step back from playing such an active role in educating my grandchildren. Initially, this decision was hard. I had spent so many years being deeply involved in their lives, providing them with guidance, teaching them things, and being an active participant in their upbringing. But over time, I realized that it was time to let go. I needed to give my son and his wife space to raise their children in their way, to allow them to develop their parenting style. It was not always easy to take a step back, but looking back now, I can see how it was the best decision I could have made. A recent social media discussion struck a chord with me. It was about the common and often painful rift between mothers-in-law and daughters-in-law. One post, in particular, caught my eye. A young woman named Tran shared the struggle she faced with her parents-in-law, who often criticized the way she and her husband raised their children. She shared a specific story that made me reflect deeply on my behavior as a mother-in-law. One day, when her husband came home late from work, she was busy handling household chores. She had asked her parents-in-law to play with their grandchild, but instead, they scolded her, accusing her of letting the child sleep too late and claiming that it would negatively impact the child's health. The more I thought about it, the more it resonated with me because, in my own life, I had often made similar mistakes. When I lived with my son and his family, I too had frequently interfered in the way they raised their children. I would dote on my grandchildren when they were doing something I liked, but when they misbehaved, I would scold them harshly. I look back now and realize that I didn't understand the consequences of my actions at the time. My interference, although well-intentioned, created unnecessary tension in the family, and I would often set principles that went against what my son and his wife believed in. When I finally lived separately, I had the space and time to reflect on these things. I now realize how much my behavior had impacted my family. Looking back, I see that I was too quick to use my seniority and experience to impose my way of doing things. Instead of supporting my son and his wife in their parenting journey, I created unnecessary friction and conflict. I had set rules and expectations that weren't aligned with their values, and I made decisions for them rather than giving them the room to make their own choices. The realization of this mistake weighed heavily on my heart. It made me feel deeply regretful, and yet, I am grateful that I have the wisdom now to acknowledge it. Family harmony is something I've come to treasure, and it's something that can be difficult to maintain, especially when there is a lack of open communication or understanding. I now believe that giving family members the space they need to grow, especially when it comes to raising children, is vital. When I finally stopped interfering with the way my son and his wife raised their children, I noticed an immediate shift in my emotional state. I felt more at ease, more relaxed, and more content with the way things were. I could see that they were doing just fine on their own, and I was able to give them the space to live their lives without my constant presence. Living alone, after my husband passed away, was another major turning point in my life. Many people around me were shocked by my decision to live by myself. Some expressed concern, fearing that I would become lonely or sad in my old age. I will admit that I was nervous at first, but as time passed, I realized that living alone didn't make me lonely. In fact, it was one of the best decisions I ever made. While it's true that living with children and grandchildren might offer a sense of constant companionship and conversation, it can also feel stifling, especially if you don't align with their way of living or their beliefs. I found that living on my own gave me the space I needed to reflect on my life, pursue personal passions, and explore new interests. It gave me the time and freedom to build a new version of myself, one that I hadn't realized I had been neglecting. I began actively seeking out new friendships and joining senior clubs where I could meet like-minded people. I was able to connect with others who shared my interests and passions, and it felt incredible to form these new relationships. We meet regularly, share our experiences, and support each other as we navigate the later stages of life. The sense of community I found through these friendships has been incredibly fulfilling. My children also respect my decision to live independently, and though they visit less often than I would like, I know they understand my need for space. I'm happy to see them living their own lives and raising their children the way they see fit, without me hovering over them. And I know they want the same for me. There is a common belief in society that after retirement, living without the company of children and grandchildren will lead to sadness and isolation. I could not disagree more. What I've learned is that happiness in our later years is about finding balance. The balance between family life and personal freedom. It's about taking time for yourself, following your passions, and doing things that bring you joy. After all, it's not about living according to other people's expectations or following what society deems as normal. What matters is finding contentment in your own life and living it authentically. Since turning 65, I've gained a deeper understanding of what truly matters. I've realized that gossip, comparison, and judgment serve no real purpose in my life. Focusing on my happiness and embracing who I am has made me feel more fulfilled than I ever thought possible. I no longer feel the need to compare myself to others or be consumed by the opinions of those around me. I now recognize that the only person responsible for my happiness is me, and I embrace that responsibility with open arms. And through all of this, I feel more at peace and positive than I ever have before. At the age of 65, I found myself living with my son, after years of experiencing conflicts and feeling misunderstood by those closest to me. Despite sharing a home with him, I quickly came to the painful realization that the comfort I had hoped for in my later years was something I would have to search for in different ways. Life at my son's house was far from the peaceful retirement I had imagined. Instead, it became a place where I often felt out of place, lonely in a crowd, and emotionally drained from the strain of adjusting to a new environment that didn't align with my values. Time seemed to slip away in a blur of moments, each one filled with frustration, sorrow, and regret. Looking back, my life with my late wife had been a journey filled with so much love and togetherness. Through all the ups and downs, we managed to hold on to one another and navigate the challenges life threw at us. I truly thought we would grow old together, sharing our final years in a quiet, peaceful corner of the world. But just as I was preparing to settle into the tranquility of old age, my wife passed away. The months following her departure were some of the darkest of my life. The emptiness she left behind was overwhelming, and I felt lost, disoriented, and utterly alone. Every day, I struggled with the absence of her, the silence in our home, and the heaviness in my heart. Witnessing my sorrow, my son, who had always been a well-meaning, caring person, suggested that I move in with him. "You need to be around family," he said, his voice filled with concern. At the time, I thought perhaps a change of scenery would help me cope with the deep sadness. The idea of living with him, of being surrounded by people again, sounded like it could provide some comfort. But deep down, I wasn't sure. I knew that I had spent so many years in the peaceful solitude of my home with my wife, and adjusting to a new rhythm, especially without her, seemed daunting. Still, my grief clouded my judgment, and I agreed. On the first day I moved into my son's house, I felt a strange mixture of relief and uncertainty. The noise of the children, the bustle of daily life, and the warmth of their greetings offered a temporary distraction from the pain I was carrying inside. My daughter-in-law, who was eager to help, quickly arranged my room and made sure I had everything I needed. The children welcomed me with open arms, their laughter a balm for my aching heart. For a short while, the joy and liveliness of my son's home made me forget, just for a moment, the overwhelming sense of loss that had become my constant companion. But as the days wore on, the cracks in this seemingly perfect picture began to show. I realized that, despite being surrounded by family, I was not truly at home. The differences between my son's lifestyle and mine were more profound than I had anticipated. I had always been someone who valued routine, simplicity, and frugality. My wife and I lived modestly, finding joy in the little things. A simple meal, a quiet evening, the comfort of our home. But my son's family lived in a world that felt alien to me. They were modern, fast-paced, and had grown accustomed to a life of luxury and indulgence. The differences between us began to create tensions, however subtle at first. For example, I had always been an early riser, someone who believed in the value of starting the day with purpose. But my son's family had a very different approach to life. They stayed up late, often watching TV or scrolling through their phones, and woke up only when they had to. This made it difficult for me to find any semblance of peace in the mornings, and I began to feel increasingly disconnected from the household's rhythm. What bothered me even more was the way they viewed money. I had always believed in saving, in being frugal, in not wasting anything, whether it was food, time, or money. But my son and daughter-in-law seemed to believe in enjoying life to the fullest, regardless of the cost. This clash of values, this divergence in how we viewed the world, created a growing gap between us. It came to a head one afternoon when my daughter-in-law accidentally broke an expensive vase that had been passed down through the family. It was a piece that meant something to me, a tangible reminder of a simpler time with my wife. I was upset, of course, but I didn't expect what happened next. My son, rather than sharing in my disappointment, simply shrugged and said, "Dad, if it's broken, just buy a new one." The words stung deeply. It wasn't just the vase, it was the sheer indifference in his voice, the dismissive tone that suggested he didn't understand why I was upset. To him, it was just an object, easily replaced. To me, it was a symbol of the values I held dear: respect for the past, appreciation for what we have, and the importance of not being wasteful. I found myself shaking my head, frustrated and hurt by how little he seemed to understand where I was coming from. And when he added, "Why are you so uptight? It's just a vase. Times have changed. You need to adapt," I felt a wave of anger rise within me. How could they be so careless, so oblivious to the emotional connection I had to the things that mattered to me? That argument made me realize something I hadn't fully understood before, that the emotional gap between my son's family and me was deeper than I had imagined. We had grown up in such different worlds, with different priorities, and no matter how much I tried to bridge the gap, there would always be a disconnect. The values I had clung to all my life, modesty, frugality, a simple, slow-paced existence, were foreign to them, and no amount of trying to adjust could change that. It was a painful realization, but it was also a wake-up call. If I wanted to find peace in my later years, I had to find a way to adapt to the world they lived in, even if it was different from my own. So, I made a conscious decision to change, to let go of the old ways that no longer served me, and to embrace a new way of living. I started by learning to use technology. I bought a smartphone, even though I had always preferred the simplicity of a landline, and learned how to navigate the internet. I joined a senior group in my neighborhood, hoping to meet people who shared my interests and could offer companionship. I began to realize that I didn't have to depend entirely on my son and his family for my happiness. I could build my own life, separate from theirs, and in doing so, I could find a sense of fulfillment that wasn't tied to their approval or lifestyle. But the most important change I made was in how I communicated with my son and daughter-in-law. I stopped being so rigid, so set in my ways. I started to listen more, to understand their point of view, and to accept that their way of life wasn't wrong. It was just different from mine. I learned that to live together in harmony, I needed to respect their choices and embrace the differences between us. I also learned that, while I couldn't change them, I could change myself. I could adjust my expectations, my habits, and my mindset to be more in tune with the realities of life today. Now, as time has passed, I've found a more peaceful coexistence with my son's family. We've developed a mutual understanding, a balance that allows us to respect one another's space, values, and choices. The pain of losing my wife will never go away, but I've come to terms with it. I know that life continues, and I must continue with it. I choose to live in the present, cherishing the memories of the past, while still seeking new experiences and opportunities for joy. Looking around me, I've come to realize that old age isn't a time for regrets or for trying to hold on to what is no longer possible. It's a time for growth, for adapting, and for learning to live in harmony with the changes that come with age. We must learn to rely on ourselves, to find peace in the things that truly matter, and to embrace the joys of life, no matter how small. We can't depend on our children to carry us through. Instead, we must learn to navigate this stage of life with grace and wisdom. I think of Mrs. Dong, a 65-year-old woman who lives contentedly without much wealth but with an abundance of peace. She spends her days tending to her small garden, enjoying the simple pleasures of life, and engaging with her community. Despite not having much, she lives richly in the way that matters most, with purpose, with simplicity, and with gratitude. She is a reminder that true contentment comes not from accumulating more, but from appreciating what we have and living in a way that aligns with our values. Her minimalist approach to life has taught me so much. It's not about having everything we desire. It's about having only what we truly need. In this simplicity, there is room for joy, connection, and true fulfillment. I've learned that a life filled with excess and unnecessary possessions only serves to clutter our minds and hearts. What we need are the essentials: health, meaningful relationships, and a sense of purpose. Food doesn't need to be extravagant, it just needs to be nourishing. In the end, it's not about what we can buy, but about what we can give and receive from the world around us. And as I move forward in my life, I do so with the understanding that old age isn't a time to slow down. It's a time to step forward with courage, to face new challenges, and to find new joys. Only by embracing the changes and living in the present can we truly make our later years colorful, meaningful, and full of life. As we reach the later stages of life, it becomes even more essential to carefully consider the relationships we keep and the people with whom we surround ourselves. At this point, we've had years, decades, even, of life experiences. We've formed countless relationships, each one contributing to our journey in one way or another. We've interacted with family, friends, colleagues, and acquaintances, and have navigated the complexities of these connections. However, as life moves forward, it's important to acknowledge that not every relationship is healthy or worth maintaining. The reality is that everyone is busy, and we all have our own lives to lead. There are times when relationships seem to exist only because someone needs something from you, whether it's a favor, help, or support. I've seen it happen so often. People only remember to reach out when they need something, and it can feel so exhausting and one-sided. This kind of relationship can take a toll on your emotional well-being, and while it's important to help others, we must also recognize when it's time to pull back and focus on those who truly matter. It's common to feel manipulated in these situations, especially when flattery or pretenses are used to ask for assistance. Sometimes, older adults might even be the target of manipulation, with people using them for their kindness, generosity, or resources. I've heard countless stories about the elderly being deceived, even losing their entire savings because they trusted the wrong people. It's heartbreaking. I truly believe that as we age, we need to become more discerning about who we allow into our lives. We don't have the luxury of time to waste on relationships that drain us emotionally or financially. Maintaining patience and courtesy is important, of course, but we must learn to say no when it's necessary, even if it feels uncomfortable. At this stage, protecting your peace, your resources, and your emotional health is more important than pleasing others. The concept of decluttering doesn't only apply to physical possessions. It also extends to our relationships and our emotional lives. As we get older, it's vital to focus on the people who truly love and care for us, those relationships that bring joy, comfort, and meaning. These are the people we should nurture and invest our time in. There's no need to sever ties with everyone who isn't a perfect fit, but we do need to redirect our attention and energy. If a relationship isn't causing stress or harm, you don't have to end it, but you can choose to prioritize others who bring you a sense of fulfillment and happiness. Love is reciprocal, and the best relationships are those where you give and receive, where you feel supported, understood, and valued. The energy we invest in others should be returned in equal measure. We deserve that. Similarly, as we age, we need to be mindful of how we manage our finances. It's tempting to indulge in excess or spend lavishly, especially when we feel we've worked hard all our lives. However, I believe that practicing financial wisdom is one of the keys to living a comfortable and fulfilling life as we grow older. Saving money, living within our means, and being intentional about our spending not only preserves our wealth but also protects our health. Financial stress can take a toll on our emotional and physical well-being, so being prudent with money allows us to maintain a sense of stability and independence. This doesn't mean depriving ourselves, but rather finding balance and understanding the importance of living within our means. In addition to emotional and financial health, we must also be conscious of our physical well-being. A simple act like going to the bathroom should never cause distress or discomfort, but for many, it can be a sign of deeper health issues. If you notice any changes in your urine, whether it's a color change, the presence of foam, or discomfort during urination, it's important to pay attention. These could be warning signs that something is wrong with the kidneys or prostate, two organs that are critical to our overall health. Prostatitis or prostate enlargement, for instance, are conditions that should never be ignored, as they can lead to complications down the road. I can't stress enough how crucial it is to stay in tune with your body, especially as you age. Early detection of potential issues is key to preventing further complications and ensuring that you continue to enjoy a good quality of life. Your body's signals go beyond just bathroom habits. The way you feel when you wake up in the morning can tell you a lot about your health. I truly believe that if you wake up feeling energized, it's a sign that your body is functioning well and that your vital organs, your liver, kidneys, and lungs, are healthy and strong. That burst of energy is a reflection of your body's vitality. But if you find yourself feeling sluggish or tired despite having had what should have been a restful sleep, it's a red flag. We all have moments where we wake up feeling a little off, but if that fatigue becomes chronic, it could indicate a problem with your health that needs to be addressed. The body is incredibly intuitive, and it's important to listen to it when it's telling you that something isn't right. Your outward appearance can also reveal a great deal about your inner health. When you wake up and look in the mirror, what do you see? A radiant, glowing face can be an indicator of good health, while a pale, tired face with puffiness or swelling could suggest kidney problems. Swelling in the face, legs, or body, especially after sleeping, should never be dismissed. It's often a sign that the kidneys are struggling with water metabolism, leading to fluid retention. In some cases, this could also signal cardiovascular problems. The kidneys are essential to the body's ability to filter and eliminate waste, so when they aren't functioning properly, it can have widespread effects. These are warning signs that shouldn't be ignored. Taking action and seeking medical advice is necessary to prevent further damage and ensure that you remain as healthy as possible. As we enter our 60s and beyond, we need to make adjustments to our lifestyles to accommodate the changes in our bodies. Mr. Lee, for instance, is 70 years old. When he was in his 60s, he made a point of drinking plenty of water and exercising regularly. However, now that he's in his 70s, he's found that drinking too much water causes frequent bathroom trips, disrupting his sleep. He also says that his knees ache after walking, making it hard for him to keep up with exercise. It's natural to experience physical changes as we age, and it can be frustrating when the things we once did easily become difficult or painful. But that doesn't mean we should abandon healthy habits altogether. Doctors suggest that drinking water and staying active are beneficial, but it's important to adapt these habits to fit our changing needs. It's about finding a balance and understanding that our bodies require different care as we grow older. Living a long and healthy life isn't about forcing ourselves to do more than we're physically capable of. It's about moderation and listening to our bodies. While drinking water and exercising are essential for maintaining health, they need to be tailored to individual needs. Everyone's body is different, and as we age, we need to adapt our habits to fit our current physical conditions. It's not about pushing ourselves to the limit, but about finding joy in simple, moderate activities that help maintain health without overexertion. It's also essential to remember that good sleep is one of the most important components of a healthy lifestyle, especially for those over 60. Ensuring you get enough rest, that you balance activity and relaxation, and that you sleep deeply and soundly, will have a profound impact on your overall well-being. Aging doesn't have to mean declining health or a reduction in quality of life. With the right mindset, you can embrace this stage of life with wisdom and grace. While it's important to accept the changes that come with age, it's equally important to focus on the positives. A positive mental attitude can make all the difference. It's easy to get caught up in worries about health, finances, or family issues, but stressing over them can do more harm than good. The key is to find balance, take care of yourself, and appreciate the moments that make life meaningful. It's important to slow down, enjoy life at your own pace, and acknowledge that aging is a natural part of the human experience. By slowing down, you not only protect your body but also give yourself the time to savor the beauty of life, finding peace and joy in the simple things. Moving slowly, eating mindfully, and exercising gently can all contribute to a life that's full of health, happiness, and fulfillment. One step at a time. As we gracefully grow older, the importance of maintaining good health becomes even more pronounced. The truth is, when you reach the age of 60 and beyond, your body's needs change, and what might have been acceptable in your younger years could start to take a toll on your well-being. This is why it is crucial to avoid harmful habits, particularly smoking and excessive alcohol consumption. These stimulants, which many people turn to throughout their lives, are incredibly harmful to health at any stage. But as we age, the damage they do to our bodies is much more significant. It becomes much harder for the body to recover from the strain of these substances. We all know that smoking and alcohol consumption are linked to a host of serious health issues, including heart disease, cancer, and liver damage, to name just a few. But once we hit our 60s, the body is less resilient, and it becomes even harder to undo the damage. If you're in this stage of life, it's easy to find yourself falling back into habits that seem comforting or familiar. Maybe you've indulged in smoking or drinking throughout your life, but as you age, holding on to these habits makes it incredibly difficult to maintain good health. And let's be honest, when you are in your 60s or 70s, one of the most important desires is simply to stay healthy. After all, good health is the foundation for everything else. When you are physically fit, you feel a sense of freedom that allows you to fully enjoy life, pursue activities you love, and not burden your loved ones. If you are healthy, your loved ones, especially your children, can enjoy the golden years of your life alongside you, without the added stress of worrying about your health. When we talk about health, one of the most significant aspects that can have a major impact on your well-being is the food you put into your body. Diet plays an even more crucial role after 60. A balanced, nutrient-rich diet is key to maintaining your health and energy. It becomes even more important to make conscious food choices at this age. It is essential to avoid highly processed junk foods like fried, pickled, grilled, or heavily processed items, as they provide little to no nutritional value and can harm your body in the long run. The older we get, the more our digestive system, metabolism, and overall ability to process certain foods begin to slow down. Eating foods that are rich in vitamins and minerals becomes critical. Instead of relying on indulgent or unhealthy snacks, try to ensure that you are eating 3 balanced meals a day. Take the time to enjoy a variety of foods, including lean meats, fish, and plenty of colorful vegetables. The variety is important to ensure that your body is getting the full spectrum of essential nutrients, from proteins and healthy fats to vitamins and minerals. The best approach is to choose natural, whole foods that nourish the body and help it function optimally. While supplements might seem like an easy fix, many studies show that they provide limited benefits for older adults. Supplements should not be seen as a substitute for a healthy diet. Rather than investing in pills or powders, you'll see much greater results by simply eating a balanced, nutritious diet that provides your body with the resources it truly needs to stay strong. As we transition into the later years of life, happiness is a key aspect that we all strive for. And although many people believe that the key to happiness is wealth and good health, the truth is more nuanced. When we are younger, we often think that happiness is tied to material success or achieving specific career goals. But as we age, we begin to realize that happiness is not about wealth or fame, It is about the peace of mind that comes with being content with yourself and your life. Interestingly, recent studies have shown that happiness peaks between the ages of 65 and 70. This is an eye-opening discovery that challenges the old assumption that a longer life equates to more happiness. The idea that happiness improves as we age doesn't mean that having a long life guarantees joy. It's how we live those years that truly counts. There are several key reasons why happiness is not dependent on just living longer. One of the most significant factors is that retirees are no longer burdened by the stress and competition of work. The daily grind of a high-pressure job or the stress of climbing the career ladder begins to fade, and this allows individuals to focus on their mental and emotional health. With fewer concerns about work, people can start to focus on what brings them joy and fulfillment, whether that's pursuing a hobby, spending more time with family, or simply relaxing and enjoying the present moment. It's often in these moments that true happiness is found. People in this age group, who have lived through many seasons of life, also learn how to appreciate the simpler things. They have gained a deep understanding of the value of small moments, whether it's sitting with a cup of tea, enjoying a beautiful sunset, or laughing with loved ones. These small, seemingly insignificant events bring them great joy. They've come to realize that happiness is not about rushing through life or chasing after fleeting achievements, but about savoring the richness of each day. The wisdom they gain through years of living shapes their approach to happiness, and they teach us that you don't need to be young to find joy. Another aspect of happiness at this age is the balance between health and financial security. Older adults often find themselves in a much more stable financial position than when they were younger, having worked hard over the years to save and secure their future. Many no longer worry about financial concerns, and this allows them to focus on what matters most, their health and well-being. At this stage, true wealth is not just in having money, but in being able to enjoy life with vitality, energy, and physical health. Without good health, wealth is essentially meaningless. It's only when we are physically well that we can truly appreciate everything life has to offer. People in their 60s and beyond often shift their priorities. They are no longer concerned with material possessions or building up a vast array of luxury goods. Instead, they prioritize their health, their family, and their inner peace. The simple act of spending time with loved ones, enjoying meaningful conversations, or sharing quiet moments becomes a source of immense happiness. Life is no longer a race, but rather a journey to be explored at a comfortable pace, filled with deep connections and rich experiences. At this stage, it's less about achieving and more about appreciating what has already been achieved, namely, a life well lived. As we get older, life's wisdom becomes one of our greatest assets. Our life experiences, both the struggles and the joys, form the foundation of our perspective on life. We no longer view the world through the narrow lens of youth, but rather with the broad, expansive viewpoint that comes from living through countless experiences. The famous Vietnamese saying, "The older the ginger, the spicier it becomes," beautifully captures this idea. The older we get, the more we understand the world and ourselves, and the more refined our perspective becomes. Life's challenges no longer seem insurmountable. Instead, we face them with a sense of calm, tolerance, and wisdom that only comes from years of experience. We no longer sweat the small stuff, and we approach life with a sense of peace and acceptance. Life will inevitably present challenges, but for older adults, these challenges are seen as opportunities to grow and learn. Their ability to reflect on past experiences gives them the tools they need to navigate difficult situations with grace and patience. This calm demeanor is something that younger generations often struggle to achieve, but it is an invaluable trait that comes with age. Furthermore, older individuals also recognize the true value of relationships. They have come to understand that the most precious thing in life is not wealth, but the love and support of those around you. Whether it's spending time with family, maintaining close friendships, or nurturing the bonds they've built over a lifetime, these relationships are the heart of their happiness. They have learned that these connections are far more important than material possessions, and they cherish every moment spent with loved ones. In conclusion, the secret to happiness is not found in how many years we live, but in how we experience life day by day. Happiness is not a passive state that happens by chance. It is an active choice we make to appreciate the beauty and joy in life, no matter what stage we are in. Research has shown that the transition from middle age to old age, typically between the ages of 55 and 65, is crucial for determining our future health and longevity. After 55, many people begin to experience a decline in physical function, with a greater risk of conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, and cardiovascular disease. This makes it more important than ever to maintain healthy habits, including regular exercise, a nutritious diet, and proper stress management, to increase the likelihood of living a long, healthy, and happy life. So, as we enter this phase of life, let us focus on what truly matters: health, happiness, and the people we hold dear. As we navigate the journey of aging, it becomes even more crucial to embrace habits that promote health and longevity. With each passing year, our bodies undergo changes that can impact our physical and mental well-being. But the good news is that we have the power to slow down and even reverse some of these effects with intentional actions. Adequate protein intake is one such essential habit that cannot be ignored. A pivotal study conducted by Newcastle University in the UK in 2006 analyzed data from over 700 individuals aged 85 and older, and the findings were striking. Those who consumed sufficient protein daily were not only healthier but were also far less susceptible to common illnesses compared to those who didn't meet their daily protein needs. This research truly resonated with me because it demonstrates that something as simple as maintaining a proper protein intake can have such a significant impact on our health. As we age, the process of muscle loss, known as sarcopenia, begins to occur naturally, leading to weakness, frailty, and reduced mobility. These changes are often accompanied by a loss of independence, which can be devastating for older adults. However, the ability to maintain muscle mass through adequate protein intake can be life-changing, offering the strength and independence needed to continue living a fulfilling life well into our golden years. The importance of this habit cannot be overstated. It is a key factor in staying healthy as we grow older. Beyond maintaining muscle mass, protein also helps support disease prevention, immune function, and overall vitality. It's amazing to realize how protein works on multiple levels to support the body, making it an indispensable nutrient as we age. Dr. Florence, a highly regarded associate professor of medicine and founder of the Comet Health Medical Center, has dedicated her career to understanding ways to slow down or even reverse the aging process. Her advice is both straightforward and empowering. She recommends consuming at least 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight daily. I couldn't agree more with this advice, as it is an easy yet effective way to safeguard our health and vitality as we age. There are countless sources of healthy protein, many of which are not only nourishing but also delicious. For older adults, the best protein sources include meat, fish, eggs, dairy products, lentils, beans, nuts, and tofu. Incorporating a variety of these foods into our daily meals can provide us with the protein our bodies need to stay strong, active, and healthy. What I find most inspiring is that making small changes to our diet, such as adding a serving of beans to a salad or enjoying a fish-based meal, can have a profound impact on our overall health. However, protein intake alone is not enough. The importance of regular physical exercise cannot be emphasized enough in the pursuit of longevity and good health. Just as the body requires protein for nourishment and strength, it also needs regular movement to stay agile and resilient. Exercise is a powerful tool in preventing muscle loss and combating the effects of aging. Moderate physical activity is essential for maintaining bone density, preventing bone diseases like osteoporosis, and promoting overall mobility. I was particularly moved by a survey of long-lived individuals in China, which showed that they engaged in diverse, yet moderate, physical activities daily. These activities help them stay healthy, avoid injuries, and maintain their independence. What's truly inspiring is that this group of individuals maintained their health well into their later years simply by incorporating regular, moderate exercise into their lives. The benefits of physical activity are well documented, and research has shown that those who exercise regularly reduce their risk of premature death by an impressive 41%. Exercise doesn't have to be intense or strenuous to make a significant impact. Even simple activities like walking, swimming, or yoga can work wonders for maintaining health and vitality. The benefits go beyond physical fitness. Regular exercise helps older adults improve bone density, stabilize blood sugar levels, regulate blood pressure, and reduce the risk of developing dementia. I believe this is one of the most empowering habits to adopt as we age because it allows us to maintain control over our health and well-being, making the aging process a more vibrant and fulfilling experience. While exercise and nutrition are fundamental to our health, there is another surprising and delightful habit that can help us live longer and healthier lives. Eating dark chocolate. Yes, you read that right. Dark chocolate, especially with cocoa content ranging from 70% to 90%, is not only a delicious indulgence but also offers an array of health benefits for older adults. Unlike milk chocolate, which is loaded with sugar, dark chocolate is packed with antioxidants, which are known to reduce blood pressure, lower bad cholesterol levels, improve blood circulation to the brain, and protect against neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's. The benefits of dark chocolate for older adults are not just limited to the heart and brain. Research conducted by Italian scientists has shown that dark chocolate can also improve sleep quality, which is particularly important as we age. Sleep disturbances are common among older adults, and finding natural ways to improve sleep can have a profound impact on overall health and well-being. What excites me even more is a study published in the journal Physiology and Behavior, which suggested that dark chocolate can significantly improve vision in older adults. This is especially encouraging given the widespread concern about age-related vision loss. Additionally, dark chocolate contains a compound called phenylethylamine, which stimulates the brain to release endorphins, those feel-good chemicals that enhance mood and reduce stress. I can't help but feel a sense of joy knowing that something as enjoyable as a piece of dark chocolate could have such remarkable effects on both physical and mental health. Another essential element in promoting healthy aging is ensuring adequate vitamin D levels. Known as the sunshine vitamin, vitamin D plays a crucial role in numerous bodily functions, from maintaining bone health to supporting immune function. Unfortunately, many older adults suffer from vitamin D deficiency, which can lead to a host of health problems, including weak bones, joint pain, muscle fatigue, and a weakened immune system. I find it truly alarming that something as simple as a vitamin D deficiency can have such widespread consequences on our health. A 2017 study involving over 5,600 older adults found that those who were supplemented with vitamin D not only experienced physical benefits but also felt less lonely and depressed, with improved sleep quality as well. These findings highlight just how interconnected our physical and mental health are, and how taking care of one aspect can positively influence the other. Vitamin D supplementation has also been shown to help prevent cancer, protect oral health, and improve bone health. To enhance the absorption of vitamin D, it can be paired with omega-3 rich foods like salmon or eggs, making it easier for the body to utilize this vital nutrient. For those of us over 65, it's essential to incorporate habits that keep the brain sharp and our social connections strong. As the brain ages, it becomes more vulnerable to cognitive decline and conditions such as Alzheimer's disease and dementia. However, studies have shown that regularly engaging the brain in activities like solving puzzles, reading, learning new languages, and participating in intellectual discussions can significantly slow down the aging process of the brain. I truly believe that using our minds regularly can help maintain mental clarity and cognitive function well into old age. In addition to mental stimulation, maintaining strong social relationships is another key factor in healthy aging. A positive mindset and a sense of being loved and supported are essential for longevity and overall well-being. I'm deeply moved by the research that shows individuals who maintain strong and positive social relationships tend to live longer and are less prone to illness. On the other hand, loneliness and isolation can have a profound negative impact on both mental and physical health, making it even more important to nurture and maintain connections with family, friends, and community. In conclusion, the path to healthy aging involves adopting a combination of nourishing habits that support both the body and the mind. From ensuring adequate protein intake and regular exercise to indulging in the health benefits of dark chocolate, vitamin D supplementation, and maintaining an active brain and social life, there are many ways to live a long, healthy, and fulfilling life. These habits may seem small, but when practiced consistently, they can create lasting and transformative changes that improve our quality of life as we age. It's never too late to start making these changes, and I firmly believe that by incorporating these practices into our daily lives, we can truly thrive as we grow older, living not just longer, but better. So, what have you learned from today's video? From the importance of quality sleep to nurturing a positive attitude and taking care of your bones and digestive health, we've covered essential tips for a healthier and happier life after 60. I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned today that you're going to put into practice in your life? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel so you can stay updated with more valuable content. Your support means a lot to us. Thank you for watching, and remember, life after 60 can be just as vibrant and fulfilling as any other stage.